Hey Jessica, I know the year is 1984, and this is your Uncle Deion talking to you. And I know it's been a couple years. It's been since 1976. Since I have left Washington for Miami, and I just want to let you know that your Uncle Deion is doing just fine. I know sometimes there's times where I really struggle, and then there's times where your mom and dad, they don't like me very much. Every time, I come in the house and show you something cool, they always want to shove me out the door, and that sometimes is just like really, really bad. I just don't get what your parents have against me, and you know, but but hopefully as your uncle, I can hopefully try to maybe impress them. Maybe have some more money. Right now, I only have $300,000 in my bank account, and I just really hope that in this day and age, now that I'm in Miami and things are free down there, I really hope that I can improve myself a lot more better. But Jessica, you don't really have to worry about your Uncle Dion. Your Uncle Dion is doing just fine. The beaches in Miami are just nice. I mean, my friend Leonardo and we've been going to the beach down there, and like we see I see a lot of strange things happen over there. I mean, I've been friends with the lifeguards over there, and that has just been fun. There was one time I saw a boat crash, and it looked like something out of Miami Vice, and all of a sudden, I was like, oh my, and I started, and I hid it right in the bushes, and oh man, it was just so funny. And so then I started running out the sidewalk, and so then my friend Jamal called me up, and he was like, "Yo, man, you want to get into my car?" And so then, I went into his car. We drove to North Miami, and so then what happened? And so it was like, somebody died, and so. But you don't have to worry about your Uncle Dion. Your Uncle Dion is doing just fine. Regardless of all the crazy stuff that's happened. Let's see what happened. Oh, I got to meet Dan Marino. Do you know that Dan Marino? He's a big guy, especially when he plays quarterback, for the Miami Dolphins, Yeah, I mean, Dan Marino, he's such a big guy, and so me being a Dolphins fan there, it's been no problem. And also Don Shula, the coach of the Miami Dolphins, he's a big guy as well. I think some players say he's a big Hungarian guy. I've even been inside his mansion. His mansion just looks good, and with all the chandeliers, and he's got like 17 boats outside of his car. I mean, it's just fun being down in Miami. It's just very, very fun. One time, when I was in my college one time at the University of Miami, me and my roommates, we went out to this party one time, and and I also met this really beautiful lady there, and I really, really liked her and all that stuff. But unfortunately, when I was seeing her, I actually found out she used some sort of special technology, to hack into my money, and I was like, what? And so, my homie, Jamal, came up to me and he was like, Dion, you know what happened? This girl, she broke into your bank account and she stole all your money. And I was like, what the? It was like, and I went to the ATM and all this stuff, and I looked at my money. I used to have, what did I have? I had $7,000 in my bank account. Now I only had like 1,000, and I was like, what the? It was like, oh my, it was crazy, But I know the year is 1984, but remember, Jessica, when you go to Miami with your college friends, when you go to college in 20 years from now, make sure you don't run into any strange people, because there could be strange people with some technology that can hack into your bank account, and just make sure that you don't be like your uncle. Oh man, last night was just so crazy. Oh, am I still recorded? Hey Jessica, your Uncle Dion, he actually went. I actually went to a party last night. And I know what year is this? Oh, it's 1986. Oh wow, so I've been asleep for 2 years now. I think I might have skipped some classes and all that stuff. I wonder if there's like maybe a study center or like a counselor I can go to or something. But anyways, man, I can't believe I've been sleeping for 2 years. Uh, since 1985. I mean, yesterday I actually went over to like some sort of neighborhood, I believe, and there was this guy named Deion Sanders, and he was a good cornerback at his high school football team, and I actually got to know him, and man, I can't believe he's gonna call himself prime time. I feel like that's pretty wild. I mean, he's a pretty wild guy, but he's also a good football player as well. And I actually even though I'm 21 and he was about 18, I actually took him under his wing. We went to Miami and I got to show a lot of I got to maybe have a beer with him. And unfortunately, though, I walked in, and when I walked in, I unfortunately, wasn't thinking straight. And then when he notices, like, he's like, "Yo, man, do you know how much you spent?" And I was like, "No." Oh man! And so anyway, then what happened was I ended up, I was with this one girl, and unfortunately, I bought her a drink, and unfortunately, her boyfriend was there, and so then what happened was I got into a bad bar fight with him, and then I got into a coma. And I think that's what happened. And then unfortunately, Dion, prime time, he just ran out of the building, and I think he just kind of left from there. So that was like my last exchange I ever had with Deion Sanders. I think I might have his number as well. Let me check. Oh, I don't even have a phone paper. Whoops! Sadly, unfortunately, I do not have Deion Sanders' phone number. Uh-oh. But anyway, your Uncle Dion's gonna take care of this problem. Oh, I have somebody at the door. What's going on in this room? Are you Deion Sanchez? This is the University of Miami security guard. You are expelled from this university. I need you to leave right now, or we will arrest you for all your crimes. Well, it sounds like the security guard has got me. But don't worry, if your parents ever see this, maybe when you're 20, don't ever make the same mistakes that I did. And, uh-oh, sounds like they're underground. No, 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 no! Thank you for subscribing, everyone. And also, I have to hang out with that Deion Sanchez person one more time because he's a really great guy to have a beer with. And also, me and him, we rode in my car a couple times, and he loves to go really fast. And, yeah, let's hope I find that guy really soon. What the? What the? I I just went up to the front yard of my house, and all of a sudden I just saw this 21-year-old Hispanic American kid just laying down on my lawn, and I think he had like 4 beers around him. I mean, kids these days, they just go out, and what is wrong with kids these days? Man, what was I thinking hanging out with that Deion Sanchez kid? I mean, he spended like $400,000, and he was just, oh man, what was I thinking? Man, that guy was just not smart. But remember, youngsters, have fun, but be smart.